Welcome to another episode of Singapore's Real Estate Explained new launch series powered by JNA Investments team. And today we have part 2 of our first EC series. And Grace, why don't we go straight into it?
Sure. Okay.
Let's go.
We've actually done part 1. So if you want to get more information, you can just hit back down to our part 1 video. If not, what we'll be doing today, it's actually a comparative analysis. So we'll be looking and comparing it with some of the new launches, EC, as well as some of the resale EC. So we'll be doing an EC to EC comparison.
That's right, Grace. So why don't you take us through the first one, Copen Grand?
Yep.
The recent EC that's launching in that launched in D23.
Okay,
Yep.
So the closest comparison that we have is Copen Grand that was launched last year. So it's actually been fully sold out already. So it's 639 units near the Tengah area. So you can see 100% sold. So what we'll notice is that for EC itself, usually we see a bigger floor plan in terms of 3, 4, 5 because they are really targeted for own stay families instead of investors. Okay, so let's just take a look at the transaction prices for Copen Grand. We can see that the most recent transacted ones will then be last year in October, and their prices, if you're looking at per square feet wise, is about 1,002, 1,003 kind of price range.
Wow, that's almost the same as some of the older new launch a few years ago. There are new launch condos a few years ago.
Yeah, so we've also seen that EC prices have actually gone significantly up, especially if we were to look at Altura, one of the highest bidding plots for the EC, even higher than one of the small developments, Arden, where Arden really got it at a really good price. So if we were to look at the transaction prices for, one of the ones that transacted last year in October, we can see that the transacted piece per square feet was about 1,003, some even at 1,002.
Wow, that's pretty much resale condo prices a few years ago.
Yeah, and we've seen how prices actually rose even for the EC market when developers actually bid higher for the land also. Okay, so let's move on to the floor plan itself. Let's look at the 3-bedroom at Copen Grand versus Altura. We do note that Copen Grand had a 2+ study, but then for Altura, it's starting from a 3-bed, 3-bath. So for Copen Grand 3-bed, 2-bath at 936 square feet versus Altura at 980 square feet, which is 3-bed, 3-bath. I think the difference will be one of them that has the yard area in Altura with the WC. So this will be targeted for those who maybe have helpers as compared to Copen Grand without like a WC, or it'll be a little bit harder to have like a helper stay in. Okay, in terms of pricing wise, we can see that Copen Grand averagely we're looking at about 1.2 million. For Altura's side then, the starting price would then be from 1.348 million, which brings it to about 1,376 per square feet.
That's right. So that is about $100,000 for an additional bath. Not sure whether that's something that you would go for.
Yeah, so it really depends on families' needs on whether they actually need this yard, WC in the yard. Okay. So let's take a look at the 4-bedroom Copen Grand versus Altura. At Copen Grand, it would then be 1,184 square feet, 4-bed, 3-bath. And at Altura, it's the same 4-bed, 3-bath, slightly bigger at 1,206 square feet. So taking a look at the floor plan itself, we can see that for Copen Grand itself, you have a wet kitchen as well as a dry kitchen. But then for Altura, then it will just be a L-shaped wet kitchen itself. And then one more thing to note is that for Altura, you have this like a slight study area which comes with a window, so it's perfect for those that you need like a study space for work from home or for your kids. Okay, so let's move on to the 5 bedrooms.
Yeah, let's look at the 5-bedroom. Wow, it's very confusing. You can see that Copen Grand is actually quite organized. You can see that it's just for the bedrooms you have 3, 4, 5, and then RC ledge, RC ledge, RC ledge. But interestingly, one difference is Copen Grand's 5-bedder has 2 balconies. They have a smaller balcony
at the side.
There is from the master bedroom. So it's quite interesting. It's something that may interest buyers who want to stay in the master bedroom and then have a mini balcony in their rooms as well. But there's also a living room balcony. Whereas for Altura, it's just a very, very long combined balcony from the living room and bedroom 4 as well. So it's a very, very long combined balcony.
And what I also noticed is that for the master bedrooms in both of them, they actually have like the walk-in wardrobe. So in terms of space-wise, I would say that it's pretty spacious for like a new launch, because we all know that today a lot of the new launches are very compact. So I would say with a walk-in wardrobe kind of concept, it's a little bit more luxurious or a plus point.
That's right. In the end of the day, this EC is always subsidized by the government, so they'll be able to have build larger units because the price is very, very close to HDB prices.
Yeah.
I guess in between HDB and condo prices. Yeah. So they are able to build something that's bigger.
Yeah, one more thing to note is that for Copen Grand, you actually have a junior master with one of the bedrooms. So you have 2 bedrooms that is en suite. Whereas for Altura, you have 2 common bedrooms with 2 common bathrooms, with 4 common bedrooms. But I think if you want, you actually can turn the entrance of the bathroom here to face bathroom 5. You want to make a junior ensuite on
Very
its
interesting.
own. Okay, so now that we've seen how Altura compared with Copen Grand, which is a new launch, maybe we can take a look at the resale part of things in the area, as well as some of the resale ECs on how Altura actually compares to them.
All right, so let's take a look at the first one. We have So Acres, some development, EC development that actually completed in 2018, but only quite recently MOP'd. And you can see that
we sold one of our clients' unit there also.
Oh, it's very interesting.
It's a very, very nice place if you actually like big developments, because they have, I think in this sense, for bigger developments, then they have a lot of facilities, a lot of pools for you to enjoy also.
That's right. It's only upon MOP that they can start leasing it to Singaporeans and PRs, the public. And you can see that there's a sudden increase in price from before MOP to, a few months after MOP. You can see from here.
Yeah.
And let's take a look at the transactions. You can see the most recent prices in July 2023. For the smaller bedrooms, 1 and 2 bedrooms, you can see it's about 800 plus, 1,440, 1,490 PSF. So you can see the smaller bedrooms usually will have something that is of a higher PSF compared to the larger bedroom counterparts. You can see for the larger bedrooms, 1,044, 3-4 bedrooms is going at about 1.4 already, 1.4 and 1.3 roughly. Yeah, we can see that prices actually have been increasing very consistently ever since it reached MOP. And wow, look at this. Profitable transactions is a total of 195 transactions.
And unprofitable, 0 transactions.
That's right.
Yeah.
But there's one thing that we have to note can be misleading, because ECs by nature are subsidized. So pretty much it's guaranteed that your EC, if you buy it from launch, you will definitely make a profit.
Yeah, it's like buying a BTO. It's almost impossible that you're going to lose money from your BTO due to the grants that you're going to get. But you do have to also consider the time that you have to wait for the EC to be built, as well as the time that you have to wait for it to reach MOP. So with such long holding period, owners are bound to see that profits happen, but then you would then have to calculate, what's the opportunity cost being lost during this whole period.
That's right. And once again, for ECs, because your the guideline that you use is based on your MSR, the amount of loan that you can get. So your ROE may actually be even lower than if you go for a condo, let's say. Yeah. But it really depends on your personal situation. If you actually have more loans, then a condo and the EC will make too much of a difference for you. Yeah. And the EC may actually be a better option in that case.
Okay, so let's take a look at the floor plan itself. So at So Acres, a 3-bed, 2-bath, we are looking at about 1,001 square feet. The last transacted actually recently in July, it was about 1.38 million, bringing it to be about 1,379 per square feet. And Altura, for a 3-bed, 3-bath unit, 980 square feet. So you can see that units have become more compact. And it's starting from 1.348 million. So actually in terms of quantum-wise, they're actually pretty similar, and as well as per square feet.
That's right, pretty similar. But if you compare the starting prices, it will be quite a big difference, because this is prices for So Acres that has already MOP'd. Yeah, already resale prices, and Ultra is a new launch price. So you can keep that in mind, that the question is whether Altura will experience something similar percentage gains-wise in a few years' time after it reaches its MOP.
If not in terms of the layout-wise, it's pretty standard, pretty similar across both So Acres as well as Altura. Besides Altura having like a WC in the yard area.
That's right.
Okay, so let's move on to the next one, which is the 4-beta. So 4-beta at Soul Acres would then be at 1,163 per square feet, 4-bed, 3-bath. Last transacted this year in May would be about 1.63 million, bringing the per square feet to be about 1,004. And then for Altura, 4-bed, 3-bath, 1,206 square feet, starting from will be 1.668, which brings the per square feet to be about 1,383.
That's right. It's very interesting that they are quite similar currently in terms of their space,
yes,
the amount of space, and also the price. Yeah.
So it's interesting to see how things actually fare out in the future when you actually wait, because you're actually exchanging your time for profits, right? Because you have to wait a couple years for it to be built, and then another 5 years for it to MOP.
That's right.
Okay, so let's move on to the 5-beta. So Soul Acres 5-beta, 1,378 square feet. We actually haven't seen any transactions for the 5-beta yet. So you can see back in 2015 when owners actually bought into this, it's at about 1.142 million for a 5-beta. Yeah, so for Altura itself, 5-beta at 1,539 square feet. Of course, it's bigger than Soul Acres, especially the balcony area, because it expands all the way out to one of the bedrooms, and starting out is about 2.188 million. So per square feet, you're looking at about 1,422.
That's right. It's very interesting that, there hasn't been many transactions for 5-beta yet.
Yeah.
Makes me wonder whether those who bought upon launch 5-betas, are they buying for own stay?
Yeah.
Or is it that they're having difficulty selling because buyers are more keen on 3 and 4-betas now? And with the quantum for 5-beta, then maybe they'd rather go for like a 3 or 4-beta elsewhere.
Yeah. And you can also see, if you're looking at quantum to quantum comparison, back in 2015 versus now, and at a 1.142, prices is almost doubled.
Since then, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's take a look at the next resale comparative, Wonderville. So, Grace, why don't you share a little bit about what do you think the prices are? How is it like?
Okay, so for Wonderville itself, it's 534 units. Completion was in 2018, so pretty similar in comparison to Soul Acres, which we just saw. So if you look at the prices itself, most recent transactions, the per square feet, you're looking at about 1,002, 1,003. So we can see for like 3-betas, we're looking at about 1.3 to 1.4 million in terms of pricing.
That's very interesting.
Okay, so similarly, like Soul Acres, we don't see any unprofitable transactions. Profitable transactions then is about 48 transactions. So you can see some of the profits that the owners are exiting with, 500 plus K, 600 plus K. So it's very healthy profit. Some even close to 800K. So very healthy profits for these owners. But just like what we mentioned, do note the holding period for them also.
Yep.
Okay, so let's move on to the floor plans.
All right, let's take a look firstly at the 3-betas. We have Wonderville's 3-beta. They're all stacked together on the same side, master bedroom 2 and 3. And we also have a tiny balcony, quite similar to that of Altura.
Yeah.
Actually, it's kind of like a flip layout, in fact. Except that Wonderville is actually slightly smaller and without a study. So Altura actually is quite efficient in terms of having the most utility for the space that it's given.
Yeah, and Altura also has like a home shelter, whereas Wonderville doesn't. And I think for Altura, it's like we mentioned in part 1, if you go there and look at our analysis on the floor plan itself, the study is really tiny. So I don't know if you can really consider it as a actual study area.
That's true. But I mean, in comparison with Wonderville, that is only slightly smaller. It doesn't have that bit of study space. It doesn't have a home shelter. So there could be some advantages for Altura layout wise.
Okay, so let's move on to the 4-betas. So at Wonderville, 4-betas, we're looking at 1,249 square feet, 4-bed, 3-bath. Last transacted was in May 26 this year at 1.76 million. So this brings the per square feet to be about 1,410 as compared to Altura 1,206 square feet, starting from maybe about 1.668 million. And the per square feet would then be about 1,383. So looking at the layout wise, I think in terms of comparison, Altura again has like this small flex area, which is like a study area. I think this has access to the window also, as compared to Wonderville. You can see that for Wonderville, the 4th bedroom is also slightly more compact as compared to bedroom 2 and bedroom 3. If you're looking at Altura, you can see that all the common bedrooms are pretty similar in size, where you can actually fit a queen size bed also.
That's right.
If not for the rest, everything seems pretty standard, except for Wonderville, maybe like a lot of the space is then passed on to like the service yard area.
Yeah, you can see. I'm not sure about what they're gonna use with a huge service yard, but
but that may be a concern for some buyers if they're taking into account that it could be like a wasted space.
That's right.
Okay, let's move on to the next one.
This next EC that's quite interesting. It's not exactly at CCK. This development, Lake Life, is actually at Jurong West.
Yeah.
Very near to the new launch that is coming up, which is Lake Gardens Residences. Yeah. And you can see here, it's a 546 units mid-sized development that was launched in 2013. And if you look at the prices currently, wow, you can see that it's going up to 1.6, even 1.7 for a 4-bedder over there. 1.6, 1.7. And if you take a look at the price behind again, you can see that at first it only started out at about 900 PSF.
Yeah.
So the prices for a 4-bedder at that time will probably be about close to 1.1, 1.2. And now it's already gone up to 1.7 for the same units. So it's quite incredible how ECs can actually make quite a bit of money.
Yeah.
It's just that the returns will be dependent on your situation, right? So if you take a look at profitable transactions, you can see, do take note again that your annualized gains is not based on it's not the same as your return on equity. Your return on equity is how much you put in and how much you get out.
Yeah.
And that is something that most investors should be concerned with, as opposed to your annualized gains, which is based on the purchase price only. So, but if you take a look at Lake Life, a lot of them have profited. You can see 400, 500K. And the holding period also is a little bit longer, about 2,000, 3,000. Yep. All right. And let's just go straight into the layout and see how it is like.
Okay, so for Lake Life site, 3-bed, 2-bath, you're looking at 1,023 square feet from about 1.35 million transacted in May this year. Okay, as compared to Altura, 980 square feet, 3-bed, 3-bath, starting from, you're looking at about 1.348 million. So in terms of quantum wise, it's also pretty similar for the resale as compared to the new launch. In terms of the layout wise, you can see that for Lake Life, in this case, you do have a very big balcony. So it actually extends all the way from your living room to both of your bedrooms. In fact.
So most of them would see it as kind of a wasted space. But nonetheless, it still performed pretty well.
Yeah. So ultimately, it boils down to your entry price. And in terms of layout wise, as long as it's not too irregular or too much of a wasted space, I think it's still acceptable by most buyers. Okay, so let's take a look at the next one, which is our 4-bedroom. So looking at a 4-bedrooms layout, Lake Life versus Altura. Lake Life, we're looking at 1,195 square feet, 4-bed, 2-bath, from 1.66 million. Last transacted was in August this year, which brings it to about 1,389 per square feet. As compared to Altura, it's a 4-bed, 3-bath. In terms of number of bathrooms, I think if you're staying at a 4-bedder and you have a helper, 4-bed, 2-bath would then be a little bit tight as compared to a 4-bed, 3-bath. So right. For those with helpers, they would then pick like a 4-bed, 3-bath, and starting from be 1.668 million. So another thing to note, similarly to the previous examples, is that Altura then have this flex, which is like a small study area, as compared to Lake Life then.
Doesn't have it, yeah. But one thing to point out is that it's quite interesting that even though this is a 4-bed, 2-bath, the transaction volume is still quite healthy.
Yeah.
So, and one reason why is also because of, definitely one of the reasons because of the hype for Lake Gardens going to be up and going to be setting a new price, reference price in the area.
Yeah.
So that's why there's more and more, and there's also more information and more hype on Jurong Lake District transformation. So Lake Life specifically, not exactly in the CCK area, but because of the hype in the area, Lake Life actually, there was quite a healthy demand for 4-bedders in the area.
So if you're looking for like bigger units and you cannot afford the wait time for Altura to be built, these are some of the resale options you can then consider in the market today.
That's right.
Yep, so let's look at the 5 bedrooms, Lake Life versus Altura. Lake Life then will be 1604 square feet, 5 bed, 4 bath. Last transacted was last year. This could also show that, either not many owners are selling or it's a little bit difficult to move due to the quantum size. It transacted about 2.166 million. And then for Altura at 1539 square feet, 5 bed, 4 bath, starting from will be 2.188 million. So now quantum-wise also pretty similar for the resale versus the new launch. Okay, so if we look at the floor plan itself, I think pretty similar, just that for Lake Life, balcony-wise will be much longer. It extends out all the way from the kitchen to the living room to bedroom 5 and then to bedroom 4. So that's a pretty long balcony that we have at Lake Life.
Yes, Altura is quite long as well, but not as long as Lake Life.
Yeah, so it extends from living room to one of the bedrooms only.
Yeah, and Lake Life does not have both a dry and a wet kitchen as well. Yeah, so these are just some of the small things to take note of.
Yeah.
Yeah, but overall, we can see that Altura and the current EC prices are quite similar. Most likely, Lake Life EC should be going at about 1,004 plus as of now if it were to be transacted, I think.
So I think that brings us to the end of our analysis today. We hope you get a little bit more insights when comparing, these new launches with the resale comparatives, because not everybody, I think if they want to start a family, have the means to wait a couple of years for the things to be built. So we hope that, these are some of the resale that you can compare with, or if it's something that you're also considering.
Just some of the final thoughts that I have. I think EC, it's not that EC cannot make money. EC definitely, you can make money, but number one, you have to know what is your return on equity as opposed to what is your potential annual capital gains calculated for the development itself. That's number one. And number two, you must find the right time to be able to buy. So sometimes there are sub-sale that is available in special circumstances where buyers can actually buy an EC after 3 years, after someone has bought it for 3 years already. But one thing to note is that you will be subject to the same regulations as that of EC bought at new launch time. It's only when it's attained MOP where the regulations and restrictions will be lifted.
So I think that brings us to the end of today's session. I think if you have any questions and you want to reach out to us, to our investment team, can reach out to us at our WhatsApp number over here. If not, feel free to follow us on our Telegram chat where we also give constant updates. And I think we'll just put a Telegram scan code over here also. So thank you all for watching. We'll see you next time. This is Grace.
This is Caleb.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.